this new channel we're gonna do and cover stuff what we call hot topics of the week. Y'all know over at Bomb First, we do a lot with stuff like Death Row or Tupac related stories, but over here we're just going to talk about current events and topics. So give us a shot, and for the haters, y'all can come over here and hate because if you love me, that view counts, and for all the hate, it counts the same. So shout out haters. Can't live without you.
All right, let's get into hot topic number one. It's fresh, so we're just gonna tap into it. We're just gonna talk about let's just call it the Diddy mess, right?
Yeah,
the Diddy mess. How do we feel about anything that you feel like has came out in the past week?
Yeah.
There's more allegations against him.
Yeah.
Lawsuits sure to come, and whatever else you want to talk about.
The thing Diddy need to be worried about and most concerned about is generally when there's smoke, there's fire. So I believe it. It's not one. I'm not one that's here to say that Diddy is an innocent man on things, but I don't think he's as guilty as he's been made out to be in the public. As far as this been weird having this sexual secrets that's coming out. That's weird. Who could sit here and say that they don't have things that you wouldn't want your mother or your father to know about that you have done? I know I can't say that. And so unfortunately we are hearing about these things that Diddy has to do that gets him on or off. And I've been telling y'all, anybody that follows Reggie Wright, know anything about me, that I believe he's battling with homosexuality. And you said, well, why would you say that? We haven't heard of any men coming out yet saying that he's been. Whenever you allow your female partner to buy a male or prostitute and stuff like that, and you sitting over in the corner masturbating while he's having sex with your girl, that's weird. Borderline homosexuality. Why can't it be two females that you're sitting over there watching? Why it has to be another female? Well, the reason is because that's how you get off. And you masquerade or wanting her to believe that you into her and her moans and groans when you really over there jacking off to that man. And so it's unfortunate that things that he's doing is coming out to the public and causing him to lose the 18 to 20 sponsorships. So I have a problem with that because I know we all have things that we not proud of or shouldn't be proud of that we do in our bedrooms. And that's why I feel things that happens in bedrooms need to stay between the walls. Now, you'll say, well, wasn't there a 17-year-old young lady involved? Yeah, anything like that, I'm totally against. That's pedophile. And if any of those accusations that any of these people, from Usher to our boy, the white boy, what's his name? Bustin'
I know
Beaver.
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber and all of them are true, anyway true. Then, just like Michael, just like R. Kelly, everything that happened to them needs to happen. But anything that's happening to Diddy because of a male and female consensual sex, male on male consensual sex, or whatever with adults, it's unfortunate that those things leaked out, got out, and causing him to lose these sponsorships. But those are things you have to be mindful of. And you young people, that's what I will tell you, to be mindful of when you make the decision and do the things and lay down with people that this could come back and bite you. And so try to take the things that your parents and people in your life tried to teach you, because we done all did it. I done things that I'm not proud of when I was young. That now when I look back at it and be like, did I do that? But yeah, so that would be my take on the, as you call it, the Diddy situation,
Mess.
mess.
That's what we're going. It's a mess.
But that's my take. But like I said, I'm not up here condoning anything that's done to a child or a female or a male that didn't consent to it, that wasn't, or that was of age. I'm not condoning that, but just because now you got mad about it, you want to talk about it, and then we want to bring it up and speak on it because it's true or not. I think I have an issue with it, and because we all weird. Trust me, we all weird, and if you haven't been weird yet, you're going to do something weird in life.
Okay. Right now, another hot topic is really just kind of like quote unquote casting couch culture, right? And so this can be seen in movies and also in like the music industry. Essentially, people with power, let's say producers, label execs, requiring the people who want to get in position to perform like sexual favors. Do you feel like, at least, you know, you were in the prime like hip hop era, do you feel like a lot of that was going on during the time?
Oh, it went on. It went on tremendously. But my thing is, and that's why I go back to a person that I love this quote by Charles Barkley, where he said, "I'm not your role model." And so I'll go back to say that to say, that's why you gotta have that relationship with your child. Or parents, you gotta really, because it's on you to instill those values onto your child. Especially when I'm talking about child, I'm talking about people of 18 and above. Anything happening to someone, a 17 and that's happening to a person, I'm not going to ever sit here, condone, justify. But once you turn 18 years of age, you can go to the military, you can go to prison. There's a lot of things that happen. So I think if you're in your right state of mind, now I do have sympathy for people that have mental illness. I hate Ronald Reagan to this day. Hate Ronald Reagan because of what he did, because I believe that's a reason why a lot of people have grown up with psychological issues, is because they closed down the mental facilities, and we didn't have that. We didn't know about all the mental things that we know about in 2023. We didn't know about that in the 80s and the 90s. And so we're talking about the 90s time period. So when I'm talking about things that happened in the 90s. So my point is, if you not and wasn't under any type of psychological evaluation or psychological treatment, and it took you the power or the energy to work through those issues, to come out and speak against it later, or it took that for you to be able to come out and speak with, then I give you a pass. But if you haven't showed me and you haven't shown that I've been working through this, I've been trying to get the courage to say, uncle did this to me, brother did this to me, auntie did this to me, or whatever, then don't come and say, well, I was 19 years old, I was still a little young, and I did this, but I wish I wouldn't have did it, and now it was your fault because you was 30. Don't want to hear it. It may be wrong. You can hate me. You could tell mama or grandma and all of that, uncle did this to me when I was 19 or whatever. And I wanted it to happen, or I allowed it to happen, but now I see that it was wrong. I have a problem with people getting sued, going to possibly prison behind situations like that with consenting adults.
Okay, let's take lawsuits out of it. Let's take prison out of it. Just in general, the concept, right? There's a person in a position, right? And he's essentially saying, if you do this, I'm going to give you this spot, right? How do you feel like that? If you feel like that should be eliminated, like how do you feel like we eliminate? Is it eliminated by people speaking when it first happens?
Yeah.
Or would you say it's just the entertainment culture in general?
Well, and that's why I try to take it to the family value to make it relate to most.
Mm-hmm.
And so I get it, and I did go off base with your question, but my whole thing is that's why the parents, people that's the adult figure in your life, have to instill that into your, not to go that easy, because if you allow it to happen, because you want that fame so bad, then that's on you. That's just like going on a date with a guy that tell you all the right things to get into your draws. You allow it to happen, and then now you want to get mad. That's the same thing that's happening with the producers, with the Harvey Weinsteins and all that. Now, if I Bill Cosby you and put a drug or something like that in your drink to make you loosen up, was giving you alcohol to make you loosen up, then yeah, let's deal with that. But just because I'm like, hey, you do this for me, I'll do this for you. Are we good? I have a problem with the football player. They got all that suspension.
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun. Because he asks females, hey, I'll give you this.
Okay.
If you do this for me. That's the American way. Now, I'm going to fire you, or you're going to lose this job if you don't do this for me, then that's an issue. But if you do this for me, I'll do this for you, I have no problem with it. That's all what dating pretty much is at the beginning anyway. When you decide to do something with someone, you don't love them like that. Generally, hopefully, our parents will want you to say, before we did all of that, we were in love. I thought I was going to spend the rest of it. But God damn it, tell the truth. We all did things that we shouldn't have done with people people that's a little older. I'm not talking to people maybe under 23, 24. But a little older with people that we just shouldn't have done it. Now, like I said, if you want to listen to Reggie Wright, that's Reggie Wright's point of views on things. I just speak the real. I tell you shit that your parents ain't gonna tell you, that your uncle, your grandparents ain't gonna say. But I done been through a lot, and I just tell you how it is. But a lot of things that I say, you may have to go and talk to other people about and get aside from, because a lot of people like to put halos on us. You're not gonna get that from over here from Reggie.
Okay, next topic, conspiracy theories in general, right? There was a new Netflix movie that came out, and it was called Leave the World Behind, right? I think, yeah, it was called Leave the World Behind. And the concept was that America's going to go to war because they're essentially going to infiltrate, let's say, like technology or whatever, and then we're all going to turn against each other, right? So you come from the death row era and all that. There's a bunch of conspiracy theories right now about Tupac is still alive. How do you feel about those conspiracy theories, or just theories in general?
Why? I mean, my point would be, why is he in hiding? Now, if he's alive, if he's lost his mind when he got shot, and somebody caused him to escape, and he's kookaloo, okay. But any other situation than that he's the biggest buster ever. If he's out there hiding from having to do time for less than 2 years left. Now y'all say, oh, well, he was hiding because the government was going to kill him, and he was hiding from the government. All right. Well, then you're talking to the wrong person if you believe that I'm going to sit up here and believe that he's that type of coward and hiding from that, from something like that. So if you believe that, you're disrespecting the shit out of Tupac because number one, you're calling him a coward. Because anybody that done been to prison before would be pissed, would break every CD or what y'all call them, downloads or streams or whatever that Tupac ever said or rapped on if he's hiding from a 2-3 year prison term. Now life, you may have a different situation, but he only was facing a 2 to 3 years term. And so y'all just don't know how disrespectful, if you're a Tupac fan, it is for you to say. It's good to want to believe that and to feel that way, but to really honestly sit down and say, oh, Tupac's alive. It's disrespectful to him because that's showing you or showing me that you believe he's a coward. Anybody that runs from 2, 3, 4 years prison term is not the type of man that I want to look up to or to admire the way we do and think of him and his music. And so when people saying stuff like that, watch those type of people because generally they showing you who they are. And that ain't the type of person you want to be around or be associated with it because they got bitch in them.
Okay, so I know the answer. I feel like you know the answer. But for the record, do you feel like Pac is still alive?
Huh?
Do you feel like he's still alive?
I'm the one that picked him up from the crematorium and brought the ashes to one of my security guards. One of my security guards transported him on a plane to meet with his mother and deliver the ashes to him. I wish like hell Pac was alive. I wish like hell everything people want to believe, that believes that he was still alive, somewhere recuperating, getting his body back right. But do you think that all the things that have been said and done, that he could be quiet for 27 years, as much shit as he talked? That's the sign of a coward to me, that'd be hiding from something like that without saying nothing, anything. There's places that you can go. Where you think Russell Simmons at? Why you think he over there in Indonesia, in Bali or wherever the fuck he at? He hide. He over there like, fuck y'all, I ain't coming back. Where you think Puffy need to take his butt to? Need to go over there to Bali. There's places you can go where you don't get extradited. And you can talk all the guy from Wikipedia. Now they'll come and kidnap your ass, possibly. You got to worry about that. But you take that chance. And the Tupac I know would definitely be taking that chance, even if he was facing life in prison. But y'all got to remember, the worst that Tupac had left on his sentence was 2 years. So we want to believe that he's in hiding, living, missing out on all of the loving and money and royalties and people messing over his estate and all of that, having LBTQ or whatever that's called, have him branding that for his clothing because people that works for his estate is into that bullshit, allowing them to put his name and his face on stuff like that. No disrespect to him, but that ain't what Pac was about. You know, people, if you float that way, you float that way. But that don't mean I gotta be the one promoting it because you promote it. He wouldn't allow that. Y'all show any evidence that he allowed that? There's none. There's some people that's for it, that tolerate it. He wasn't. So there are things like that that's happening to his legacy, to his money, to his estate, where if he was alive, he couldn't have remained silent this long from the person that I know or knew.
Okay, in your opinion, who do you feel like is the most recent rapper who either raps as good as Pac or embodies a lot of what Pac was believing in or what it wanted to do?
Well, none of them on both. Well, Kendrick Lamar, in my opinion, has the knowledge, the gangster pen. I'm not saying he had any of that in him, but the knowledge of it from being around them, and the poetic side. But I think his look, in my opinion, holds him back from being that sex appeal or that person. Even if I look at him in the Power series, how he looked in that, that's the type of person that I look at Kendrick when I think of Kendrick. Now Drake has that sex appeal that Pac would have, in my opinion. Have the lyricals that he has, but he's a cornball. So I can tell you people that have pieces of Pac in them, but to say have the whole package, it'll be hard for me to say. I like NBA young boy, but I don't see that in him. I don't see it in Wiz. Yeah, it'd be hard for me to say. But I can tell you people that have pieces of Pac, You know, Lil Wayne, I like Lil Wayne, but he don't have that appeal. He's not somebody a woman be like, all right, bye. I'm going with him tonight. Deal with it. If you can deal with it, I'll come back to you after this nigga gone. But I'm going with him tonight.
All right, right now there's Jay-Z and other lawmakers. They're trying to get a law passed where rappers don't have to be, I guess you could say, their lyrics wouldn't be able to be used in court. How do you feel about that?
No, I kind of agree with it. I agree with that. I know it's a few situations, definitely the one going on with Gunna and them and the YSL crew, I think their name is, in Atlanta, and some other rappers. I agree with that because taking away the freedom of speech part and where we like to lie and exaggerate, because how are we going to be able to tell this is a lie or exaggeration? But I also know in law enforcement, and this Keefe D trial is going to teach us a lot, because he's mainly going to Vegas' whole basis for getting him or convicting him is based on him giving statements on YouTube and social media. They ain't found no gun. They ain't found no witness that's gonna come out or nothing new. It's just, okay, you want to keep talking about something and write books and do all of this about it? Yeah, okay. We're gonna let you. You wanna learn? You wanna keep thumping your nose at us? We're gonna teach you a lesson. And so that's what happened. And so this case law about stuff like that, there's going to be some case law made. I actually believe he may get set free because a judge is going to be like, okay, we need something other than his statements alone. We need a witness. We need a gun. We need something. Now, I know generally in law enforcement, you can use people's statements with some other evidence. Just like right now, if someone said he robbed me, people think just because a person says someone robbed them or did something to them, that's good enough. It's not. It's usually something else. I admit that, yeah, I did slap her, or I did slap him, or did do this. They find the evidence on that person. You find the clothing that you described. Well, he was wearing a white jumpsuit, white top, and all of this and all that. They go in the house. He got on a white. It takes something other than a witness ID or a witness statement. That helps. That helps tremendously. But it takes something else other than that to substantiate that the crime did occur, which I believe is good. I've been in plenty of situations with people that say, oh, Reggie said he killed Biggie, or he killed so-and-so. And just because somebody said that you said that they said that, is that good enough to, for somebody to go away from prison for the rest of their life? Mm-hmm. I don't think so. Not in the country I want to live. Because women, relationship, say stuff all the time, and then you realize, why did I say that? But in the heat of the moment, and mad and all of that, people say stuff. And based just on that alone, we could take a person's life. sexual allegations of the worst thing that could have ever happened to me. One of my kids, or you, being my niece, said I molested you or something like that. I was some type of madness or something like that. And then later on, be like, oh, I was just playing. But could you imagine just going through that for 3 days, 2 days, 1 day? And so I do agree, do like that we need more evidence than just a statement, that, to happen before we proceed. And so I get where they're going with the music, because their whole point would be, we lie, we exaggerate, we say these things in our music to glorify ourselves or to make us seem tougher. I'm really a cornball. I'm hiding out in Corona or wherever. I ain't never been to Watts in my life, and did this. And I just said that, because I knew that's what y'all wanted to hear, and that's what. So I get it, but I believe if I'm suspected of killing X, Y, or Z, and then I rap about it in a song, I killed X, Y, and Z, and did all of that. I think stuff like that can be used to substantiate what we believe or heard or have evidence that you actually did. So
that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. So then you kind of touched on it a little bit. I think in you guys' hip hop era, even though, let's say, I think they were putting a 10 on an 8, right? Oh. Like, I think 8 meaning like 80% of what they were saying, they either had a direct experience or they knew somebody who had an experience.
That's 99.9 if it was true.
If it was true, they knew somebody who had that experience. Correct. I think in our generation, I'm not even going to claim the younger generation, right? The younger generation, it seems like they're putting a 10 on a 2. So what advice maybe or opinion you would give to somebody who's a young rapper, entertainer, about maybe the danger of putting a 10 on a 2?
Well, say it at the beginning. That's what a lot of rappers, I remember some rappers say, I'm just faking, I'm just talking. I forget what it was. It was one rapper who said, this not true. I'm just saying it. But to say, yeah, don't be involved. I think you got to do it so people can understand. I do like terms and things that people to make you think. And so I wouldn't say don't do it. I love TV shows. I love what 50 doing with shows like that. And so I'm not the type of old man that gonna sit up here and put halos on people and try to say, oh no, don't say that, son. Don't say that. Don't be that way. Because no, you got to go through it. I can tell you all the stuff that I've been through. That don't mean you're gonna not do it, because I tell my son every day, don't do this. I done did it. I can tell you, but I ain't gonna get mad that you didn't do it. I won't be disappointed. It's the difference between mad at your child or someone younger than disappointed. Disappointed that you elected to go this route. We done talked about it, but I ain't gonna hate you. I ain't gonna disown you because you did it. Because I understand you gotta do it and go through it. So that's my general take in life. I remember I shared a story with you off camera before with your parents, where they were the first ones to express to me about letting your kids be opinionated and talk back and stuff. And we talking about in the early 90s. I mean, not early, like late 90s, that these statements were being made to me, and that was unheard of. You're like, when you slap that little girl, she over there being disrespectful. She over there talking head. Oh no, we don't talk to our kids like that. We let them have an opinion and be opinionated. So I get that. Totally agree. She was right on about that, because it makes your kid grow up to be a different type of kid. In my opinion, be assertive and confidence, and it was great training. So I get it. I understand it. So I'm not that parent that gonna be do it my way or no way. You're not gonna get that from me over here on our channel, but you will get, this is what happened to me. This is how I deal with it. And if I was you, I wouldn't do it this way. Now, I know I took it to life experiences versus music or rappers. But the thing to them is, If you did do something like that, shut the fuck up. Watch 48 Hours. Do y'all see what cops do when y'all think y'all can talk y'all way out of stuff? Just go watch that. This will give me a week of y'all watching 48 Hours. That's all I ask you for, just a week. And you see how many people go and sit in an interrogation room, go in there with every intention thinking that they can talk their way out of it. And they smarter than everybody. But that's what I get from you, y'all generation. Y'all so much smarter than us that we didn't know nothing. We done been through all the stuff that y'all been just in a different way. But shut up. Get an attorney. You ain't got to talk your way out of it. Everything. Just wait. Hold back. You can't talk your way out of everything. You're not smarter than everybody. You're smart. Again, y'all, technology and all that. I love the way y'all have those experiences. But common sense, common life, jumping over a wall, half of y'all can't even jump over a motherfucking brick wall or iron wall because y'all didn't have to do that. Y'all don't know that the street light, y'all don't even know what street lights are. That they blink before they, come on. Y'all don't know stuff because y'all didn't do that. Y'all don't know how to get to your friend's address without putting it in MapQuest. You can't tell me, y'all go to jail or prison right now, can't tell me one person's phone number that, by heart that y'all know. Because y'all go straight to your phone and dial it. Y'all probably couldn't tell me 5 people real phone numbers that y'all know by heart. Stuff like that. Where we had to know everybody numbers by heart. It's this stuff, so y'all don't know everything. Love y'all, like I said, y'all, but y'all too educated. Call y'all a bunch of educated fools, y'all generation. That's what I call y'all. But the whole thing to all of that is, don't be scared to listen to people. Don't think you know everything. It's good just to shut up and wait. If you ever get in a situation, get in trouble, you don't have to run to social media and talk about it. My daughter fights with her people. Get mad at me. First place she goes to is social media to vent about it. Like, what the hell? How you gonna put this on? What? But that's the way y'all vent. That's y'all outlet. I don't get it, but don't use social media for that because it can't get you in trouble. My best advice to you, if you ever get in trouble, shut up until you get someone there that has your best interests at heart. Because law enforcement don't. What they do in 48 Hours that I referenced earlier, after they get you to confess, they go out there and laugh and they give each other high fives. And tell you you're on your way to county jail. Shut up. Most of the time they didn't have nothing on you until you copped out to it or told on John Boy or whoever. That would be my advice. But to the rappers, yeah, no. Social media is gonna kill us.
Essentially, like rappers and people who aren't in their like normal like profession anymore come back. The podcast, YouTube, all that.
Yeah. No, I think it's great. It's the new form of independent music or rap or putting your stuff out on yourself. Because really, everybody's trying to do it to get a deal. Most people that have podcasts or stuff, YouTube money, it takes a while to get monetized. A lot of people don't know the procedures and the things to do. That's why you don't see no ads in their stuff. They just posting it and not getting paid for it. So that's YouTube. You have all the different ways to make money if you're doing it right. You have to be creative and make your own content because people like Facebook and all of that will stop paying you if you use other people's content. So you got to learn the rules. So that's the first thing I would advise people to do is to learn the rules of each one of those channels, from TikTok to Twitter to YouTube to Facebook, because they all have different ways to get monetized and things to remain monetized. Okay, I know that wasn't pretty much the question, but the question is what I think about them doing that. I think there's a new way of getting an outlet to get people that quote unquote has-beens to get their voice out there and that have a little name and reputation. It's very few that's doing it like Joe Budden doing it and people like that. It's very few that's getting no $1 million a year deals in this. But it's worth taking a chance. to get it out there, drink champs and stuff like that. So what's happening is people are seeing people like that, and they want to be the ones to tell the culture. A lot of people get mad at Vlad TV because they figure this is this white boy that's making all this money off of our culture and stuff like that. Well, it ain't our culture. Everything is ours. Just because they studied it and know how to study it and took it to another level, we're gonna be mad at them because of that. That's wrong. It's the American way. This is what America's about. The land of opportunity. We all can do it. So I have no problem with the ones that's trying to get it, to see what happens, throw it out, see what happens, and hopefully you be the one. Like my boy Art the Dialogue channel and stuff like that, that's making hundreds of thousands of dollars, in the age of 31, 32 years old, from, from doing content like that, from doing what they like doing, meaning studying. Because that's all it takes is the research. If you can research and you're willing to put the time into researching and studying, then you can get the content out there and hopefully eventually get lucky and blow up. But it's the new music business, in my opinion, because number one, record labels are lazy now. I get calls every day from executives and small level record companies, like the 360s and all of that, and be like, Reg, you got anybody out there that got 300,000, 400,000 followers or views on some music or something like that? That's A&R now for them. They're not going to sitting inside the what we used to call them places where you used to go and the showcases and stuff like that. They're not doing showcases. No, they just go straight to IG and Instagrams and how many followers they have, how many views they got, and that's what they care about. And so that's where you go. But a lot of these people are doing it and talking. Number one, because it's easy to do. Everybody is a $5,000 investment at the most to go and get the equipment to do it. And everybody likes to talk. Everybody think they know everything, myself included. And you throw it out there, see what happens, and see if the people like you. So I have no problem with it. I think it's a good investment to try. And for anything, what's good about it is therapy. But we all love to get our ego stroked. People say they don't. I don't want the fame. I don't want this. I do want the money over the gold. Some niggas want the shine over the gold, but I don't care about the gold more than the shine. But whatever strokes your boat. And that's what I think a lot of it is happening, and why a lot of people do it, because they're used to getting that shine, and now they want to keep it going. But hey, if you can get the shine and the gold from it, then more power to you. Pissed off of the week, Draymond Green. Draymond, come on, man, you got to grow up, man. I generally am a supporter of you, but the antics of tough guy on the basketball court got to stop. You're costing yourself generation money, because I know you got money. It ain't hurting you right now, but you see all the athletes now that were making the type of money that you're making, the $100 million contracts, Allen Iverson, Mike Tyson, and all of them, that's no longer have that type of money. And so the money that you're giving away is costing you about $120,000, $130,000 a game that you giving away, giving back to the white folks, because you want to act like a tough guy on the basketball courts. You ain't got to keep doing that, Draymond. The only thing you have to do is pretty much look at somebody now. Your reputation is there. They'll back off on you. They'll step away. So Draymond, stop giving away that money that you could be donating to a family member, a charity that you care about, because they're going to give it to their charities, but these could be to someone that you care about. That's what got me pissed off, and that the NBA is making you, instead of just having a set goal or a set amount of time that they can give you, that has me pissed off too. Tell the man, you do this, you hit somebody on the basketball court, you're going to get 5 games. You do it a second time, you're going to get 10 games. Don't just decide and play with people's emotions and just say, when we decide for you to come back, you can come back. That's the only thing that got me a little disappointed and pissed off this week. Is number one that Draymond is allowing these people to take this money out of his families. No matter how much money you got. I know you good, you set, but that's generation money. You got little beautiful kids, and you got people that go broke. And a lot of people think that money that you're getting, just because you're getting $120,000. I know, I've been there. Unfortunately, that only means $50,000 or $60,000. By the time your agent, Uncle Sam, your accounting firm, and all of them tax your ass. So, something to think about. Draymond Green, you as Charlamagne would say, my donkey of the week, my piss off segment of the week. Come on, baby, Draymond, you bigger than that, bro. Best part of the week, today is sometime in December. To say that the end of the month in December, and it's holiday time, and I get glad to still be here, be alive, because 3 years ago, December the 27th, my wife was called by a doctor from Corona Regional Medical Hospital and was told, there's nothing else we can do for him. We suggest you take him off the ventilator because his blood is all infected and he's not going to make it. There's nothing else we can do for him. But grateful because my wife and my parents and my pastor and her village all talked about it and said, no, let's give him a fighting chance. And they gave me a fighting chance and disagreed with the doctor advice. And like I said, it's 3 years later, and my limbs ain't as good as they used to be, but I'm still here, and I still got my mind. Yeah, so that's why I'm grateful for this week. Every time I think of this time of the year.